18,000 mixed housing structures are being built near Walkerville in a new housing development called Savannah City. Joining us now to explain a little bit more about the development is Yusuf Patel, Executive Director of Basil Reed Developments. Yusuf, thank you so much for your time today. I saw Walkerville and Orange Farm, and I went to school in the Walkerville area, a primary school at Aloe Ridge Primary. So interesting to see this kind of development taking place there. But talk us through what were some of the motivating factors to develop this area called Savannah City.
Yes, we're very excited about this development. Obviously, as you said, it's going to consist of over 18,000 mixed housing, mixed income units, but it's going to be a fully integrated town with all your social facilities and amenities, as well as economic opportunities, schools, parks, etc. And at Basil Reed, we focus on really creating neighborhoods and quality lifestyles. So the issue is not about just delivering houses, but it's about creating a quality public environment, quality infrastructure, a built environment that's in harmony with the natural environment in that area. And the area has a particular housing need. It's part of the Sedibang municipal area. There's a lot of fragmented housing, informal settlements, etc. around there. So we believe Savannah City is actually going to be a very important anchor for that particular area.
Why choose that area in particular, the south of Joburg, as a development hub? As you mentioned, that there are a lot of sparse areas and isolated developments within that Walkerville area, but why there?
Well, I think we've picked up that there is a big need in that area. There is a housing shortage in the broader Sedibang region. But the Gauteng city region, more broadly, Gugulethu, is facing large urbanization, and there's big housing demand in Gauteng in general. And we believe that affordable housing is an important sector, an important focal area. If I can just maybe stress 3 points. The one is that affordable housing is critically important for the economy because it enables us to grow the economy. It's a sector that focuses on community services, urban infrastructure, and it's part of the non-tradable sector. So what that means is we're not producing something where we're competing for exports with other countries. When you focus on housing, you're actually building your own economy because you're producing goods, services, materials locally. Your whole value chain of your economy is produced locally. We're going to be generating over 55,000 jobs during the construction period over the 10 years that you're going to build out this entire city. The whole economic impact, I mean, the value of the impact is going to be over 28 billion rands for the broader economy. And that value is calculated in terms of the jobs that are created directly through the construction process, producers that are supplying materials, etc., into the project, but then also the income levels of everybody within that value chain improves, and they start spending money in the broader economy. So the overall impact is quite significant and huge. So that's the first point. The economic impact of affordable housing for South Africa, and with our job creation challenges in this country, we believe it's an important sector to be involved in. The second issue is that affordable housing, if you look at the housing market in general in South Africa, over 80% of houses registered in the deeds office are under 500,000 rands in value, which tells you that's where we have the biggest need and the biggest market. So the affordable housing market is incredibly important. And I think maybe the third point just to mention is that in order to maintain these developments, and it's all about improving access to housing. We have a big need in South Africa. There's still over 2 million families that don't have adequate housing in South Africa. And Gauteng, I think, is sitting with a large portion of that, probably over 600,000 families that still don't have adequate shelter. So in order to maintain that the houses are actually affordable, and when we talk about the affordable market, we're talking of homes that are from 600,000 rands below. So it's the fully subsidized houses, it's the open market homes that are sold, and also partially subsidized houses. So that market becomes, in order to maintain affordability, the partnership between government and the private sector becomes absolutely crucial.
I'd
in
like
order
to
get to
delve into that. We just saw images a few moments ago on the screen where we saw Gauteng Premier Nomvula Mokonyane. So is this a partnership deal with the government as well as Basil Reed? You working hand in hand together?
Yes, look, this is a private initiative. So as Basil Reed, we are a developer in affordable housing. We've done developments such as Cosmo City in the northwest of Johannesburg. So we have a track record and experience in doing this type of projects. We were approached by Old Mutual at the time, around 2006-07, and we partnered with Old Mutual to purchase the site and go into this development. And it was a response to government's call for the private sector to get involved in the affordable housing market. But in order to make the project work, the project affordable housing, you have a subsidized component to the project, and you have the open market component to the project. So you have to have your infrastructure. Government has to come to the party in terms of making sure that bulk infrastructure, etc., is put in place. Obviously, it's the private sector. You make bulk contributions for that, but you've got to plan these things together with government. There's subsidies that go to homeowners. If you earn below 3,500 rands, you get a fully subsidized unit. If you earn between 3,500 rands up to about 15,000 rands, you do get a sort of discount on your home price. So it's a partially subsidized unit. Now, in order to bring in all of those subsidies, as well as then we have bonded units which are bonded on an open market, anybody can purchase those units. In order to get that mix right and to get the right level of cross-subsidization, government and the private sector have to work together. And also the other important thing was that with a development like this, we try and build an equal quality environment across the entire town. So whether you're living in a fully subsidized unit or you're living in an open market bonded unit, the public infrastructure around you, the quality of roads, parks, schools, etc., are all the same. Now, in order to achieve that, you need these sort of partnerships. Partnerships
are good, but I understand you're spending about 24 billion rand on this. Where does that money come from?
Well, the 24 billion rands is actually the value of the development once it will be fully built up.
After 10 years?
Yes, so that's the projected value of this development, the 24 billion rands. But essentially, there's going to be huge cost. I mean, as a private sector, we have already invested about 170 million rands into this project already. That's in terms of purchasing the land and spending all the money on preparing the master plans, undertaking the development applications, getting all your development approvals, your environmental applications, etc. So it's a huge project, and we've already invested that amount. We're going to require, a funding facility of roughly about 650 million. That will be the peak funding facility that we require for the development. And, you're probably looking at about 3 to 4 billion rands worth of infrastructure that's going to go in the ground into this development to make it what we're hoping it to become.
Yusuf, interesting times taking place, and all the best. That was Yusuf Patel, Executive Director of Basil Reed Developments.